Hi friends, this is Pastor Chris from the Presbyterian Church of Marion, and as we go through Holy Week, we've been looking at the 7 last words of Christ on the cross. Here is Amanda Kanouff to share with you.
Matthew chapter 27, verse 46. My God, why have you forsaken me? Jesus uttered this plea, this cry of anguish, in the moments just before his death, and it was one of the final statements he made during his time on earth as a human. Thinking about our own lives, how many times have we uttered these words or something similar when faced with a tough situation? Maybe you're wondering now, amid this COVID-19 pandemic, when faced with isolation, illness, or disruption of your everyday life, why has God forsaken us? The truth is that God has not forsaken us. He is in fact with us and guiding us through not just this difficult situation, but everything we face in life. I suppose, being human, we can often feel separated from God. It's our sin, the sin that Jesus died to save us from, that is one of the main things that separates us from God. And humans by nature are sinful creatures, whether we intend to be or not. So if God has not forsaken us sinful humans, he certainly had not forsaken his only Son, especially in the moments before his death. If Jesus was not an ordinary human man, why would he feel separated from God in his final moments? After all, he resisted temptation from the devil himself while fasting in the desert. He suffered betrayal and the most humiliating arrest and conviction and the most cruel and painful punishment without attempting to save himself. So why would Jesus wait until the final moments of his life to allow himself to succumb to a feeling of isolation from God? Furthermore, why would he address God in this way, as if he were pleading with his Creator and not his Father? If you skip back a few books into the Old Testament to Psalm 22 and read the opening verse, you'll find something familiar there. It reads, my God, why have you forsaken me? Why do you remain so distant? Why do you ignore my cries for help? In this psalm, David is feeling separated from God, yet he is praising him for all he has done and continues to do. At the moment of his death, Jesus bore the sins of the earth, which separated him from his Father, and he cried out in anguish, though he knew that at the moment of his resurrection, he would be released from that burden and reunited with his Father in heaven. Could it be that those moments of spiritual separation from his Father were infinitely more unbearable than the physical pain he had endured to this point? I imagine in these moments he was overwhelmed by so many different things. The torture he had endured, his imminent death, the spiritual pain of separation from God in his final moments on earth, the hope of paradise and the sweet relief to be found there. And then there was darkness. But for so many, and even for us today, there is a promise to be found there.